I wanted to sit down below
Yeah.
and just watch the whole vibe of the game. But I can't tell you the number of people on my way to the seat through the corridor were like, it's just, are they going to fight?
Rempe
They didn't even mention anybody's name.
Yeah.
Are they going tonight? Are they going to fight? That was hundreds walking through the corridor. And I'm like, man, is this 1980s again? But that was, we all know politically correct today is like, this guy's going to hurt himself. It's not good. We know the narrative, but it's almost as if for that particular night, nobody wanted to hear it. Everybody just
we do not agree.
Everybody just felt like, this is what we're coming to see on top of the hockey game.
And there may have been some disappointment if they didn't fight. What's interesting is that I don't think Rempe in particular went into the game being like, we have to fight. You know, Reaves mentioned in his quotes after the game that he had there was so much buildup for it that he asked the kid in the first shift if he wanted it, and the kid said no because the game didn't warrant it at that point.
Well,
Reaves said that was fine.
Listen, and
then Rempe ran the guy.
Has he turned 22 yet?
No.
He's 21 years old. He doesn't know he doesn't have a clue on how at the NHL level or, you know, to carry that type of weight on your shoulders for the New York Rangers, how it works. He's just trying to figure it out as he goes along.
Yeah.
Everything he's done up until this point has just been kind of like a raw emotion from him to go out there and do what he did.
Show he's willing.
This one in particular, even when we saw the fight, it was almost as if he needed his parents' permission.
Oh, and he probably did, though, Kip. You know, I'm sure you played and your coach says we don't want you doing that tonight.
So there
He
was
looked to the bench.
There was that
before he
sense.
fought.
Got the green light.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was like stealing a base. It was like
Yes.
Like
Is that bunt?
it was
fight.
really like if I would have had money bet on when the fight would take place, I would have said 5 minutes in, 10 minutes again,
just do it.
first period. The Leafs were up, if I'm not mistaken, 3-2.
Yeah, there's about 10 minutes left in the
No,
third.
less than that.
Was it
Sammy.
less?
Maybe 5 or 6.
When they fought,
7?
it was about 6 minutes.
Oh, okay.
6 minutes left. Like, even in my day, that was one of those where you don't necessarily want to think about possibly changing the momentum, taking a penalty, whatever the case is. You just don't see those type of fights that late in the period or in the game when especially the home team's up.
Yeah.
But, you know, it still happened. It gave people in the building something to talk about.
Yeah.
And it was a spirited bout.
And I think there is some measure of it's reasonable to say you didn't want to go through that game allowing Rempe to take out one of your players with a brutal charging play and say it's okay, right? It became a relevant thing to have a fight with the gentleman.
Speaking of which, now if I want to switch it over to Ryan Reaves, for me, that fight came too late for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Right.
And it was upon his job would have been probably to try to get him to think about more about me coming after him throughout the whole game. I just thought there was too many lulls. I thought Ryan Reaves gave too many lulls into him to think that he could still go out there and take 40-foot runs at my players.
And to be clear, that was the second one at Lyubushkin. He took another big one.
The first one, which I absolutely hated, was at the halfway mark of the hockey game.
Right.
Shesterkin started a breakout, gave it to Rempe at the hash marks. That guy skated the length of the ice, dumped it into Lyubushkin's corner, and did the whole thing over again. Had a 100-foot run at him.
Teed off.
Yeah.
Teed off on him.
Now, this is where I've got an issue with Ryan Reaves. You were on the ice when that happened. you got to skate right over to him, okay? I don't know why Ryan just allowed that. Like, that's where you got to – the fight's okay. It entertained people. I stood up. I clapped, whatever. But the fight was – it didn't serve any purpose for the game.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It just served a purpose for entertainment.
Okay,
we did this, and then you flex your muscles, and you're in the penalty box telling the crowd to get ready. But in the meantime, Lyubushkin's already out of the game because he got run by the human missile, which you were supposed to be out there to deter.
Yeah, I remember as it happened, I was like, I think Reaves was towards the end of a shift the first time. And I was like, maybe he didn't want to go do it, while you're out of gas or something. But to your point, you just want him to go over and have a chat.
I get that. But that's where you need a little bit of help of Sheldon. Like Sheldon was, I think, matching lines. And I don't see Rempe on the ice and not have Ryan Reaves out on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I don't know why. So I get it. It was the end. Possibly he was out there for 30 or 40 seconds.
Yeah.
But I need you out there when he's out there. Yeah. And I need you talking to him saying, you're not doing what you did to that Bastian, Nate Bastian of New Jersey. You're not doing it tonight. So every time he's on the ice, you're on top of him. You're talking to him. Like, I'm not allowing you to skate 200 feet to run Lyubushkin. So he runs Lyubushkin in the second period, and he's thinking he's got a credit card to go get him later on in the game.
Mm-hmm. And he did.
He did.
But
Bad hit, by the way.
Do you think if he fought him early in the game, though, he doesn't do it? Probably not. Probably still does it.
Listen, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, the percentages go up significantly if he did fight him earlier that he wouldn't.
Yep.
Because I've been in fights. I was a well-conditioned guy. I won awards. I was in shape, man. There were some fights I was into early in a game when I knew I was done for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Spent.
Adrenaline
Couldn't even lift my arms up, right? Tweaked something. Just I just don't have it to go run around the rest of the game.
Yeah, for sure. No, I get
That's where Ryan needs to get to him earlier to remind him that you're not having your way with our guys. You're not coming in like this human missile to run our players. I won't have it. I just think there was a lull too much in the game that pushed it towards the last 5 minutes when Lyubushkin's done. And, it sounds like he's back. Yeah. Sounds like he's okay, which is great, but could have separated his shoulder just as easily as and given him a head injury, as Sheldon described it after the game.
Yeah, you said we have a Sheldon on Rempe, right? Is he?
Well, it's on. There's two. There's what do I got here? Let me pull my lineup up.
And then we should also get back to the game after we finish this off.
Yeah. So you could talk about the Keefe clip 3 on the fight or the hit. You could play the first one on the hit. It's short there, Derek. Clip 2.
Comes a long way, leaves his feet, hits him in the head. Injury.
There's his breakdown of the hit.
Not a fan, hey?
Yeah, listen, it's an attempt to try to get a guy suspended. I get it. Why not?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And the one, if you want to play the 3 just on the fight to kind of wrap things up there on that.
Yeah, I thought it was good, especially considering, guy knocks one of our guys out of the game. So we're starting to get up, like, injuring players are starting to get up as many as the fights now, but I liked Revo stepped up.
Doesn't sound like he's a fan of Rempe. How'd you think he did?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
He's a huge fan of Rempe.
Who?
Sheldon. Yeah. He just can't admit it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Everybody wants one of those guys right now.
Well, the Leafs going to have one. Reaves has been playing really good for a month.
Good. At least it gives you some sort of shot at when you play a team like that, then you need a deterrent. You need something out there, and that's why New Jersey went and got McDermott.
Yeah. What do you think of the actual fight? Like, do you think
it was a great fight?
Reaves got him for sure for me.
I thought it took him a while to get the range.
Yeah,
and then he kind of found his range. I thought he maybe scored the decision at the end, but
poor kid got hit 4 more times.
Yeah, right in the face.
You know?
But I mean,
does it really matter like who at the end of the day on points?
Yeah.
Like, come on,
No,
it was a spirited fight. Both teams loved their player for hanging in there.
for sure.
Both
but
of
to
them
your question,
threw
it does
some.
matter. Yes.
It does matter.
What?
The fans, it matters.
Is there an actual belt?
Well, to fans, there is, sure. You know, that's irrelevant. Did our guy win or their guy win in fights? If it didn't matter, I can tell you fighting would be a lot different.
Just as long as somebody didn't lose it badly.
Yeah.
That's
And to Keith's point about the hit and about the fight, it's like everyone's like, "Oh, this poor kid," you know. It's like, well, you know, he's running around, nailing people into
Yeah.
the boards. He's running around. It's not like
You do lose a lot of
he's not like
sympathies
jumping
when you're
on the ice, being like, "Oh boy, I better," you know.
Yeah.
It's like he's running around the entire game.
I'll
the
tell
runs
you,
at Lyubushkin made him fully eligible to
Yes.
run.
once again, being 6 feet up in the stands watching this game, you know, my first thought, this game's more dangerous than when I played.
Mm-hmm. Just because of the speed.
No, we had holdups. We had guys running into
interference.
each other.
there's none of that.
I never had the chance to start at my own blue line
And just
and go into a Lyubushkin
Hammered him.
untouched.
It was actually the most frustrating part of forechecking is when you would run on a forecheck and the deed be in front of you. Just all right.
So again,
Full interference.
The hit that he had on him in the second period, Morgan's back there, and Morgan's just like,
pass.
I can't do anything. Just keep going.
Yeah.
And it was Cully. There was a second
Cooley.
play. Cooley
Cooley
was
wanted
in
to
there
fight
too.
Reaves
It
at
was
one
like a
point.
2-on. It was two of them crushing Lyubushkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of them that had free range.
Cooley's a
we
beast,
never
too.
had that free range.
Yeah.
So, like, they got to fix this. I think they got to fix this. That guy's gonna hurt somebody really bad.
Rempe?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Well, he's
coming.
trying.
So as long if he gets
trying to hurt
gets a
people.
red carpet on every
Actively.
forecheck,
Yeah.
he's gonna hurt somebody.
Yeah. He skates pretty well.
It was really nice when Willie put him on the ground there with that dangle. At the whole crowd was really into
Just
that.
the baby deer got
And
juked.
one last suggestion,
Mm.
okay? Lyubushkin, get your stick up and make him eat it.
Yeah.
Okay? You see that guy coming, it is survival. That will be the best 2-game suspension you'll ever take if you just turn around. And this guy needs it coming. This is what's going to slow him down eventually is someone's got to sit there and go, okay, here are my choices. Death or a 2-game suspension.
You know, Kip, I had enough coaches tell me the exact thing you're telling him right now to know that in some cases it's not the worst plan. You know, like not even that you need to do anything aside from just have it out to protect yourself. Because, yeah, he's intending to hurt you. That's self-defense at that point.
Just last quick thing on Rempe. I was listening to
We've said that 3 times now.
I was listening to Bill Simmons' podcast, which is one of the most popular podcasts outside of ours, of course, but it's a massive American podcast. And it's an NBA focus on a Monday. Does it with this guy named Ryan Russillo, who's also very popular. To my surprise, a 5 to 10 minute Rempe discussion on this podcast when they've never mentioned hockey before.
Yeah.
And they talked about it for a long time. They talked about how just in general, having similar conversations to everybody else. It's like, there's Connor McDavid's in the league. Connor Bedard's in the league. They're talking about this 6'7" guy
Buddy,
from Alberta.
it passes the mom test, which is if you hear about it from your mom, it's in the mainstream culture. And it's like, how about this Rempe kid?
Boy,
You know,
his face is looking like a bag of tomatoes, though. He
he-
may need a healthy. Give the
he
kid
needs
a
to
break.
extend
But
the
he-
visor down to a cage.
He's a puppy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a puppy.
He
and
looks
I
like
think,
a child.
Yeah.
Ryan
outside
Reaves,
of being-
Ryan Reaves said it best, I think, after the match. He's like, wait, this
Yeah.
guy's going to be a force.